I had to wait a few minutes here, and guess what happened? I've got myself an awesome trend. I'm doing this, I'm making a lot of money by catching it. And so what I'm going to try to do here is I'll look if I'm in an incredibly awesome trend. You see, the thing is that if I wait this out long enough, I could take home thousands of dollars. If I don't, maybe the worst thing that would happen is I would just lose a little bit. However, eventually I should caught up with like 5,000 bucks. Well, maybe 2,000 bucks. But you get what I mean, right? You could go from 19,000 to 6,500 in this case right here, which is extremely volatile, but it's still doable. Obviously these kind of things certainly are not going to come up often enough, but they are definitely there. And I'm catching up with these. So Bitcoin went down by $391. That is just absolutely massive. But just in this case, we're trading 16,000 worth. So if it would be worth 1,000, we would just trade 16,000 and we would still have that much. Obviously in a normal price range, so to speak, it would probably start to bounce up by now, and we wouldn't really know what is going on, just like we don't know what's going on here. For example, there is a trend, but most of it isn't that clear. However, there are these ones every now and then. Bam, bam, another one right there, the super one right here. Like these ones, these ones should be avoided, especially if you thought you should short. Like you should short and then bang, you're done. You're done for today, tomorrow, and probably for forever. This whole thing, don't trade with the money you can afford to lose, because you can just be wiped out, not because you aren't careful over there. But you see the market, what it's doing, it just opened so high up, and if you leveraged, you're going to suffer, and you're going to suffer tremendously. Look at that. These were just killer trades. If somebody was shorting, and look at that, it shorted for the market went down, so it would be absolutely kind of natural to say that it's going down, and then bang, you're dead. Imagine it going down for so long and opening somewhere like there, and you like leveraged like 50 times your money, and like after that trade you see a couple of minutes passing and you get call from a broker saying you had the margin call, would you like to place some more money in? We have good tips, I'll call you every day, your recent $500,000 has been wiped out. But if you'll invest, I'll give you an advice not to leverage that much. and I made the money. I've never had that much money in a trade. This is a super trade right here, 497 and counting. At some point in time it's gonna go up, so I expect trend to go either direction here, but I hope it is still gonna go down. So furthermore, why everybody likes to trade currencies? Because they're super volatile, as volatile as Bitcoin, and relatively similar. Well, this is like a super stalemate right here. That's just like a really bad thing. From 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock it had almost no direction whatsoever. But you have to kind of catch these somehow. I don't know how, but you just have to try do this all day and night, obviously with enough sleep so that you would know what you're doing, and do it. And I guess that every time you place a trade you actually have to place yourself a stop loss too. Otherwise, you know, things can happen such as your internet connection go down. Just imagine you shorted solely because you thought that the market's gonna go down for the next 15 minutes and your internet goes out and the price is just going up indefinitely, and you can't call your broker because it doesn't provide such a service such as trading for you, because you're like not that important, you know. They don't have access to your account or something like that. I wonder what's the use of trading multiple charts. Is it all go on the same principle? As you can see, Apple stock is jumping through just like NASDAQ index is jumping. So NASDAQ composite is just pretty much a bunch of charts, a bunch of stocks put together under one number, sliced with all kinds of math formulas. So all the stocks move at the same time and they create a price, a sort of an average like price that represents all of them in one basket or one index, so to speak. So far I'm still making money, and it looks like there is no end to this. Bitcoin is being wiped out. It's reaching lows of 15,000. So Bitcoin lost 4,000. Easy 4,000 from its top. So now you kind of like to think how people are trading and making money while doing day trading. I don't know how to answer this correctly. However, I believe that they have the advantage of leverage here. And you see, I just had 400 bucks moving in a matter of hours. I have no doubt that, well, 1,000 bucks in fact, but I have no doubts that it will go up again $1,000 just like it did previously. And what it means is that if I leverage this 5 times and I've got myself a trend like that, I've made a hell of a lot of money twice, when it went down and when it went up. So if you shorted it, you probably made 200 bucks because the market went down and up, and you got the difference somewhere out there. However, I made $5,000 when it went down, and I made $4,000 when it went up again. And I have like $9,000 in hard money. I bear a lot more risk because I may simply lose all that money very easily if I'm wrong. However, I made money when it went down up multiple times. It could be that I could make 100,000 like this trading Bitcoin. Look at that. It went from 17,000 to 19,600. Then it went down to 18,000. It went up to 19,000. It went down to 16,000. Or even less than 16,000. Then it went up to 17,000. So if I was right on all of these massive trends in like less than a day, I would be making tens of thousands of dollars with the right enough amount to trade with. And you, if you were right, you would just be making a little bit, such as, for example, what happened today. As you can see, today Bitcoin was devastated, so you made something like 2,500 and I made something like 25,000, and that's the power of day trading. And this is what I found out, obviously, by doing this right now for the last couple of hours, that day trader is always making money if she's right, consistently catching these trends that are not long enough. But this is 1 minute chart, right? This is like the most deadly chart out there that can happen because it doesn't make sense. This is just a video game. You know what's happening, that you're gonna get a candle. This candle doesn't make sense, obviously, because it can change very, very effectively. Now I see that the trend is changing. I'm closing my trade and I'm buying. That's what I see. That's it. That's how I see it. For the last 3 minutes it's going up. That's awesome. It could be all of it. We see that today, in fact the last 4 days, the Bitcoin is losing it, and it's losing it very, very effectively. Just today, by doing day trading, trading 1 Bitcoin on a day where Bitcoin is losing thousands of dollars, I, without any kind of experience and fear of losing money, because this isn't real money, but I'm not joking, I'm actually trying to make money actually, I made $800, like more than like a lot. This is a lot of money. $840. That could buy many things, and I did this in approximately 3 hours, give or take, and I got myself relatively small trends, and it's going just great. Now, once again, I'm unaware what's going to happen here. Will it bounce back a few $1,000s? Will it stay going down? Will I end up in a stalemate that's going to last for hours, and I'm going to be losing like $50 after $50 after $30 after $25 consistently without stop? Or am I gonna go into another trade where I'm going to make $2,000 on it by just looking at it and thinking how many things this would buy me. It looks like it did bounce up. I'm not sure where it's gonna go. You see, I heard that trader is consistently in a lot of fear, and that the market is driven by fear. And the way I look at it is that the fear comes from positions like these, just exact these that I wear now. It is a little bit clear now that it's an uptrend, but really it doesn't really kind of say will it kind of quickly go down. And because I'm not in the money, because I'm not in $300 or $3,000 in the profit, I as a trader could be feeling fear and without knowing the right direction. And I guess that nobody knows and they all feel, or most of them, or some of them, or a few of them feel fear of mistake. They just don't want to make that mistake. That's it. And these mistakes are consistent. They can last for many hours in these kind of stalemates. These are more trendy ones, so that's kind of fine. But otherwise, it could be really bad. So now I bought it. What should I be hoping for? Should I hope for it to go up a few $100s? Probably. Probably yes. However, here it looks like it's starting to change the direction, but I should be kind of believing that the uptrend is going to go up. Just like that. If it kind of goes beneath my price and I'm in the minus, I should then change my opinion. But otherwise, I shouldn't do it. And this is how I should be able to eventually catch the trend. And that would probably be the stalemate right there. If I can trade like this through the stalemate, I'll eventually end up in the uptrend. Now in this case, the problem is that the stalemate can last for hours. It can consist of 30 trades, and each of those 30 trades could cost me approximately $50 to $100. And that could be up to 5,000. And does that mean that a trend like that would make me 5,000? No, it wouldn't. It would make me up to $500, and it would be just a sink for all my money, and I would be dead. For this reason, I guess that nothing, absolutely nothing, works. It's just a matter of luck. In a stalemate, absolutely nothing is going to help you if you want to trade each and every one of these candles. You just kind of have to buy it and say to yourself that if I go into like minus 0.5%, I change the direction. So if the chart is as big as, like if the mini trend is as big as that, I change my direction, something like that, and that's it. That's where you know that the stalemate has ended and you're entering into some proper gameplay. So that's the direction that the market is choosing. The stalemate has been broken and you're in the money, you're making the money, and you're just feeling good about it. That's it. Within the stalemate, choosing the direction is a massacre. So, what can I say so far? Stalemate is a money sink. It's going to kill me. The movement, good movement of a trend is where I actually make the money. My objective is to catch this trend and avoid overtrading within the stalemate that's going to just wipe my balance off. This stalemate can last for many hours, where the market, not many hours, but at least like 2 hours, up to 2 hours. That's what I've currently noticed. It could last even longer. Look at that, for example. There's a little trend right here, but this is all doesn't really show anything. That is a proper trend right here. Bam! Eventually it got up to it, but here it just didn't move that much, and it has to be appealing to the eye. So far, to me, maybe not to somebody who's doing this for life, but to me it has to be clear that the market's going down. Probably to somebody that's making living out of it, he would just kind of go really close and would know that if he's $2 in the plus, he is on the trend. Maybe that's how it looks. For me, a trend is when I'm actually making reasonable amount of money considering to the stalemate, where I'm not making anything. So far I would be trading most of the candles just so that I could make a little bit of cash on each and every little movement out there. However, now I'm focusing on actually catching up onto the money. And that is catching on to the trend. So I bought it. It could go against me, but for as long as it's not going to go against me enough, I'm not going to change my direction. That's it. As you can see, I'm in the minus. Minus 35 is bad. However, this can change very quickly. Okay, I'm taking the profit.